Nice to meet you. I love your
Likewise.
background.
Yeah,
Sensei
I'm
the
in a
same.
dojo. Yeah. I'm in sensei thing today.
I love it. That's not the Club Penguin dojo, is it?
I don't think so.
Thought I was doing the right thing, but I failed you.
Hi guys, very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Love your set. When did you get to my house?
Thanks so much. Well, I don't know if you know that, but today it was announced that Cobra Kai was one of the most viewed series in Mexico this year.
That's fantastic.
So I'm very excited. So, well, I want to ask about how was the approach for renew this story and bring back these memorable characters from Karate Kid to do Cobra Kai.
Well, that came from the writers and the creators of the show came to us individually with the concept of Cobra Kai and how it tied into Karate Kid, but how also it was going to be a show that could stand on its own and be relevant today. And so they really had this mapped out from the beginning and having the origins of the Karate Kid in mind and where this kind of universe of all these new characters could go. So, we're the actors that portrayed and personified these characters from 1983, 4, 5, and 6, and now all of a sudden they have their new ideas for these characters. So for us, I think it was just more about receiving it, trusting it, dialing into it, making our notes, our adjustments, getting comfortable with it, and then kind of taking a giant leap of faith and playing it the way it was written and trusting it. And with the incredible team we have, from the writing to the actors, their cameras, and then our editors and our music and all that, at the end, watching it ourselves and having this incredible surprise of, wow, this is really working, So it didn't really originate, at least with me. It was came to us and we stepped in.
Yeah, the creators of the show had such a specific focused angle into how to go back to this world, the Karate Kid universe, if you will, 34 years later. And it just seemed fresh. It seemed timely. It seemed like now was it. And so we come up looking like we knew it all along, but we were still, I'll speak for myself, but Billy and I have spoken about this. You still didn't know, we were ready to jump in the pool, but we didn't know how cold or what the temperature of the water would be. And to get this embrace and this sort of cheerlead around the world, and like you said, in Mexico at this level is, it's the cherry on top of the ice cream sundae.
You remember lesson about balance. Lesson not just karate only. Lesson for whole life.
Very nice to talk with you guys. Congratulations on the new season. I'm very excited.
Thank you, man. Pleasure to meet you, Francisco.
Nice to meet you, dude.
So, Shaw, I would ask, do you remember the first time you saw Karate Kid? How old were you, and how did you end up with Cobra Kai?
Yeah, so I will say I have very, very, very vague recollections of watching the original Karate Kid. I think I was super, super young and didn't get a chance to come back around to it until after I booked Cobra Kai. But, the process of booking Cobra Kai was pretty long. I had just, for my birthday, decided to shave my head. And, a couple of weeks later, I found out I had this audition for Cobra Kai. I wasn't familiar with what Cobra Kai was, just reading the name. But after a couple of auditions and chemistry reads and stuff like that, I realized just how important the Karate Kid was to so many people, and how and it wasn't until the first season came out that I realized just how big this franchise is. So it's cool. I'm excited to be a part of it now, just to carry on the torch metaphorically. So I hope we kind of handle it with care and show people what we're about.
That's great. And how was for you, Jacob?
I was 8 when I first saw the Karate Kid. My dad showed it to me, and I watched it with my little brother, and we loved it. And when I got the call for the audition for Cobra Kai, I was like, "Dang! Like this is freaking awesome!" And I was really stoked when I got the call that I booked it. And I think I got the call that I booked it, and like 2 or 3 days later, I was on a plane out to Atlanta to go film.
Wow.
Yeah, but I mean, it's awesome. I've really loved the ride, and hanging out, meeting a ton of awesome people like Shalito over here. But yeah, it's an awesome project to be a part of, and I'm very grateful.
You want to stick around, learn a few things?
Miyagi-Do is about defending yourself and protecting others.
I'm really excited about the third season. Just like it's having like a heart attack every episode. So, Mary, I love the way Cobra Kai reflects on the good and the bad, and how every character or every person has its own flaws, and this is like a very difficult balance to find for Sam.
Definitely. I think that's one of the most fun aspects of playing Samantha, is kind of diving into like figuring out how and why the things that she does make sense to her. And then additionally for me as a viewer, when I sit down and watch it, I'm like, oh, why would you do that? And then I have to think back and I'm like, oh yeah, that's why I did that. Like I had a reason. And it's, that's something that I love about Cobra Kai in general, is like everybody has the good side and the bad side. And I think it's fun to play who's the villain and to kind of point fingers and be like, it's Kreese. Oh no, it's Samantha. Oh no, it's Daniel. Like, and get to kind of like play around with that. I have a lot of fun hearing people's theories as to why Samantha's the one to bring the whole castle tumbling down. But I think, in my heart, Samantha is doing the best she can. And especially, if we all think back to our teenage years, we all make some decisions that are questionable, and we are pretty well run with our hearts and not our heads. And I think that's kind of where Samantha's at. Luckily, she has a lot of good people around her, and then she has some not so great influences around her. So it's kind of having to learn the hard way which ones to pick and choose to listen from.
I thought we were the good guys.
We try to be. There's one thing I do know for sure. You can't run away from your problems.
We left the second season with the truce destroyed by the high school brawl. It left Sam scared and Miguel in a very difficult position. But in the new season, and in the new season trailer, we see Daniel and Johnny are back on speaking terms.
For some time, yeah. It's Daniel and Johnny are that, it's the best salad dressing ever, but then when it stops, it's oil and vinegar, and they separate, and you got to shake them up again to get all the flavors back, and it's an interesting. Maybe I'm getting hungry, but it's those characters. It's so much fun to play because we love to play when they're like this, and we also like to play when they're like this. But then it's a fine line, and it's fun to see both sides of that. So we'll get to see plenty more of both in the upcoming season.
I think your character Jacob Hawk is very special. We have seen him from being bullied in the season 1, but now he looks like in a dark path. He's being alienating from his friends, but at the same time, he's looking for redemption.
Yeah, I think for season 3, Hawk, the entire time he's kind of just looking at where he belongs, because he still feels tugged to not being. Oh wait, I'm like deciding how much I'm allowed to say.
No,
nothing. Yeah, nothing.
There you go. He goes through a lot of inner turmoil, and it's a rough season for him. He's really trying to find himself, and he has a lot of different people pulling him in different directions. It's very interesting to see. Also, very, very, very fun season. It's awesome. I love everything that the writers will, give me.
Yeah, and at the same time, Isholo, Miguel's character is like the breakout star for Cobra Kai. But surprisingly for many, his bond is more attached to Johnny Lawrence than Daniel San. So has been this process for Miguel, where we left him very in a very bad shape in season 2, and trying to getting ready physically and mentally for what's coming on season 3?
Yeah, of course. I think, at the end of season 2, we were left kind of in a weird place. We don't know what Miguel is thinking. And I think going into season 3, we're going to see really how the events of, that school fight took a toll on him. And I think really it's just, as anyone would, the feeling of trusting someone and, giving your heart for someone. I think Miguel struggles a lot with having a really, really strong parental figure. I think his mom loves him and he loves his mom, but I think the lack of a father figure really took a toll on him at the beginning of, moving to this new city, and he finds that in Johnny. And I think, listening to him and showing mercy and then having it kind of blow up in his face is really going to be a difficult challenge going into season 3, but we'll see how it plays out.
I'm gonna teach you the style of karate that was taught to me.
You're gonna be my karate teacher?
No, I'm gonna be your sensei. You'll build strength, you'll learn discipline, and when the time is right, you'll strike back.
I understand you earned a second-degree green belt in karate in real life. So what's your regimen for practicing for the fighting scenes?
Well, that was earned a long time ago. Yeah, I trained for Karate Kid like we all did. I trained for many years after. I got up to my second green. I have red and black to go, which I have to do for my kids because they don't understand why I didn't get my black belt, so I need to finish. Well, you're just a green belt, Dad. So my regiment, for many years it was on and off, and mostly it was training for a movie here and there or training for this or that, but it wasn't dedicated until now in the last 3 years or so. We go back at it, we train pretty hard, but with karate training comes a lot of things, diet and conditioning, running, staying limber, and all that stuff. So it's a lot of work, especially now, and in the show shoots, it's a very busy day, and there's very little time to devote. When we did Karate Kid, we had 3 months and a month before we even shot the movie where we did every single beat. And we trained every single day for 3 months. Some of these fights that we do, we have hours and sometimes less to go and execute a fight. And it's a lot more difficult today. The kids have it easier because they're younger and they're more agile. So for us, Ralph and I always come away at the end of our little scraps and we compare our bruises on our forearms. We're just all bruised up after these fights. So,
why I wear the long sleeve.
Yeah. Oh, that's why you're wearing it. You still have your bruises from last year? Mine just healed.
What are you, Tango and Cash?
No, Tango and Cash were narcotics detectives.
Oh, I'm sorry. You do realize neither one of you are cops, right?
Peter, how difficult has been practicing all the moves, getting ready to film? Do you have like a special regimen for the fighting scenes?
Yeah, I mean, the very first fight sequence, the very first scene you meet Torian, I had 45 minutes basically to learn that. So thank God we have the stunt team that we do and everything because they're amazing. And Janelle Kerfman, who works with us, she's incredible. But as the season went on, I started getting really into it and I wanted to work harder and I wanted to look better because even Marty the other day, we were doing some promos for Cobra Kai and he was like, I looked at Billy and I go, why did they hire this girl when you filmed your first scene? And I was like, and then he goes, I just watched season 3 and you know what? You've grown a lot and I get it now. And I was like, I'm glad that you got it after an entire season. But I felt it the first time I came in, where my hands were and I was like prancing up on my toes. And I thought, all right, I actually need to work out every day and put in the work on my own because I don't want to look like an idiot. That's basically it.
That's good.
And I got into it. And Mary encouraged me too, because even just doing the fight sequences of Mary, I mean, she works really hard and to see her progress from first season, it's pretty cool.
That's great. Well, thank you very much for the time. Congratulations on the new seasons. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, senseis. Congratulations on the new seasons. Hope to see and have Cobra Kai like 4 5 season, 7, 8 season forever. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, my man.
Bye bye.
Too long.